Hello, I'm Kathleen Hart. Welcome to my show. Tonight, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about being an empath, what that's like, what that is, and a little story to illustrate it. Empaths are ultra sensitive souls, people like me who feel almost everything and feel it very, very deeply. Uh, I had to have somebody actually tell me that I was an empath because I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know that I was really that different from anybody else. I happened to be at a point in my life where there were a lot of stressful things going on, and I was physically and emotionally exhausted. Wound up checking myself into a hospital for some rest and met a lady who was pretty much there for the same reason I was, needed some rest. And we talked a lot. And she told me a little story and told me that I was an empath. And I looked at her like, what do you mean? What is that? All I ever knew anything about was from an episode of the old series, the original series Star Trek. And I'll tell you what, they didn't quite have it right. There's some things in common, but it's very different. She explained it to me, and I set out to go and learn more, to find out more about what this was and how to better cope with it, how to better use it and live with it. You find out that you're very sensitive to lots of things. You have a lot of allergies, and you're allergic to pollens and dust and mold and perfumes and artificial fragrances and cleaning products, anything with a strong scent or a strong chemical scent. Natural things, not so bad, but the artificial stuff it can be quite uncomfortable. What I found is you have to avoid most of that. But the tough part was walking around like a big emotional sponge, literally soaking up the emotions of people around me and not realizing that the overwhelming feelings I felt weren't all mine. Most of them weren't mine. And it kind of makes you feel a little crazy when you feel like you're overreacting to everything and it's really not you. You just don't know what to do with everybody else's feelings. So I would avoid places like crowded shopping malls, especially around the holidays. Just stay out of crowds. If I went to a concert, I wore earplugs because loud sounds were very painful for me. Strong smells can be very uncomfortable. Bright lights, especially flashing lights, can trigger headaches. You wind up getting migraines a lot. It's not fun until you learn how to better deal with it. It gets easier once somebody teaches you how to handle it. If that's something you find yourself suffering from, give me a call, send me an email, and I'll teach you what I can, how to deal with it better. I have a little story to illustrate it, how you could be so sensitive to what others are feeling that it can affect you physically. A number of years ago, my day at work was going rather rough. I felt very weak and dizzy. And my coworkers were very concerned that I was pale and they kept looking at me like I was going to faint. And I thought, okay, I really feel like I probably need to just drop everything and go see the doctor. And I did. And I'm glad I did. When I got to the doctor's office, they looked at me and I started to lose all the color out of my face. And I started to slump down in the chair and I fainted completely right in front of the doctor. Very effective, by the way. They wheeled me into the emergency room. And long story short, I wound up getting a transfusion. I'd never known I was anemic before. They couldn't figure out what caused it. It's something I've had to watch closely throughout the years, but they still couldn't explain it. Once I got home, was talking to my family, I found out at the exact same time I was in the hospital getting a transfusion. My father was in a hospital less than a mile away getting a transfusion. He'd had a surgical procedure that didn't go as well as it could have, and he was actually bleeding to death. They were able to take care of him, but he got like 4 units of blood. He was seriously low. And there I was 20 miles away, and I felt it, and it affected me so much they had to give me a transfusion. Not as serious as his, but that's kind of strange. Took me years to find out probably what caused it, that I was just so sensitive I was picking up on him. Anyway, kind of gives you an idea of what it feels like to be an empath. And if you're not aware of what you need to do, it can be challenging. But like I said, if you need some help, let me know. I'll be happy to help you. You can always go to my website and send me an email from there, KathleenHart.com. I see we have a caller. Hello, Jacqueline. Do you have a question for me?
I do. I need to know if hang on, let me go. I need to go outside.
Bless your heart. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm going outside.
Take a deep breath.
Okay. Are you there? I need to know the marriage I'm in right now. I need to know if I should be or not.
I'm sorry, can you say that again? The sound is a little blurry.
The marriage I'm in right now, is it
Okay.
the right one?
Okay. So things are not going well. You feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Are you frightened at all? You feel like you're in any danger?
Am I what?
Do you feel like you're in any danger? Are you frightened?
No. No, I don't.
Oh, you do not, or you do?
No.
No, okay. That's good. I'm getting that it's definitely very uncomfortable for you right now. Try to ground and center yourself and step back and just take a good long look at the situation. I kind of feel like you may have come to an impasse, and I want you to reflect on that and see if you feel like there's any more progress to be made. I feel like there's you're not pursuing your own passion and pleasure. You've been spending too much time catering to someone else and their desires, and perhaps you have ignored yourself. That's not healthy. That is not sustainable. Step into your own power and set some healthy boundaries.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Learn to say no. Learn to say enough is enough, and stand up for yourself and what you want, because that's just as important as what someone else wants. And
right. Okay.
If you can't come to an agreement or a compromise, then you might want to consider other steps. I don't think you're quite there yet, but take a good long hard look at it. Decide what you want in your heart. Are you really happy? What can be done to improve the situation? Potentially consider seeing a marriage counselor if you haven't already.
Right. Yeah. No, we haven't.
Don't isolate yourself. Don't be afraid to reach out and talk to your friends, people who would understand what you're going through. Maybe they've already been through it. That could give you some insight, show you what others have done that maybe made a decision to stay and another that made a decision to leave. And you can compare them and see how you feel about that. See which feels most right for you. Go with your gut instinct. What is your heart telling you? That's your
Right.
best test right there, is how do you really feel about the situation and what do you want? Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah.
I'm getting that it's time for a transformation for you, that you need to look at how you want to live your life, and is this relationship compatible with that? Really
Right.
give it a lot of thought, feel into it, see what feels right. Try some new things. Try to do some new things together to see if you can strengthen that bond, maybe freshen things up a bit. I'm not saying go out and spend a lot of money. Don't do anything really wild, like take a very expensive vacation, but do some small things together that make you
Right.
feel closer and give you something else to talk about other than the way conversations may have been going lately. Does that make
Yeah.
sense to you? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Um, you might want to consider, a short trip, something, a weekend away to relax and rest. Do something outdoors, something to get you in nature. That can be very healing and very refreshing. But you try to, strengthen that relationship as best you can and just see how you feel about it. And don't be afraid
Okay.
to ask for help if you need it.
Right. Okay. All righty.
You take care.
All right.
Good
Thanks
luck
so
to
much.
you. You're welcome.
Thanks.
Okay. I have a brief message for everybody else. Now is the time for cleansing and healing. Take good care of yourself. Clear your energy and hydrate and eat healthy. And now is the time to answer the call. What are you being called to do with your time, with your life, with your energy? Now's the time to step forward and expand yourself, expand your horizons. Thank you. Good night.